And there we are. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. It's going to obviously continue for some people because of the holiday. So, uh, so before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And as long as we can abide by those easy, simple rules, then those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will not have to boot you out of here. Otherwise, they will. So simple as that. Uh, whew, all right. So I literally just put my shirt back on, and I just sit here. I'm like, man, I should have put on a muscle shirt. It is warm in here again, my friends. So I got to tell you, I just got off the phone. I was talking to Heather, and somebody had called in, and so I answered the phone. And when I do my shout outs at the end of my videos, the first shout out I do is Icky Can, and his name is Ian. He is up in Canada. He is so far up in Canada, he is literally 3 hours north of Toronto. So when I say he is up in Canada, he is up in Canada. And he had called me, and he said, "Hey man, I gotta ask you a question." He goes, "Did you leave me a voice message this morning?" I'm like, "No, man, I haven't called you, and we haven't talked and caught up in a while, unfortunately." Uh, he said, "Yeah," he goes, "somebody basically had called him to this morning, and he said it sounded like my voice, and he said they told him to go f themselves and jump in front of a train." And I'm like, "No, man," I said, "I would never do that." I said, "If I had a problem with you, I said I would call and I would wait to talk to you." So he thought I was mad at him. He thought it was me and that I was mad at him. And I'm like, first of all, no, I'm not mad at you. Number two, it was not me because I don't play those little childish type of games like that. People that do that, there's so many a-holes out there, man. I'll tell you guys, it drives me absolutely nuts, the number of jerks that are out there. So no, I was, and I told him, I said, "Do you watch my live streams?" And he says, "I don't get a chance to watch your live streams." He goes, "But I watch your other stuff." And I told him, I said, "Well, when I do my shout outs at the end of my live streams, I go, you're the first person, Icky Can, right? I said, you're the first person that I give a shout out to every single time." And he was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, it was like, so he was like, "I just wanted to make sure you weren't mad." So we got it. I told him, I said, I wish I had more time to talk, but I got to do the live stream. And so we're going to catch up, not tomorrow, but the next day. I told him I would give him a call so that we can catch up on things. So yeah, so I was like, absolutely not. No, it's like, I don't play those little childish kind of games like that. If I'm, no, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it was misunderstanding. I don't know who would call him and do that. So, I mean, he kind of figure out who has his number because I don't think he gives his number out to just everybody, So, you know what? And he's the nicest right now. He is the nicest guy. And for somebody to do that, way too many, life is, life is so short. And I know I say that a lot. And, especially as I get older, you have more time to reflect and look at things and realize, you know, that don't sweat the small stuff. You know, um, to me, it's just it's such the negativity. It is such a waste of time and effort. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people get off on that type of stuff. I mean, obviously they're very miserable themselves, and it's just I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, to me, it's like I said, I got way better things to do than hate on anybody. If I don't see, let's put it like this: if I don't like you, you're not going to hear from me at all. And if you haven't heard from me and you're somebody that I know, I'm not mad. I'm just busy. So, uh, yeah, people were miserable and they want others to be miserable too. Yeah, and it's so I don't know. It's just so unnecessary. Heather and I were talking. I actually was on the phone with Heather first when Ian had called in, and no, I did not find the Queen, Jeff. I really just wasn't even looking after that. I just was like, well. If she's in there, hopefully I don't crush her. I was trying to be careful, and everything should be okay. I'll go back out in a couple days and I'll check on stuff with the bees. I did set up, and I'll show you guys. I set up that box. If they decide, if they haven't already split already, okay, if they haven't split already, what I have the box set up to catch if they swarm. So if they've already swarmed, then part of them are gone, and that's why the queen cells were in there. I gotta actually I'll have to stop into the place and talk to the guy and tell him, yeah, I had the queen cells in there, but I didn't want to crush the queen cells because I don't know if the queen was in there or not. So you know, so we'll have to figure all that out. But I definitely don't want to kill the queen cells and then have no queen in there. That would not be a good thing. So, but anyway, so that's kind of where we're at with everything that way. So, but all right, so we're going to get into this in just a moment. Oh, I was going to tell you what I was going to say. So before we get into, I'll tell you my conversation with Heather. And Heather has been living off grid since she was 13 years old, right? That's when we moved to the property, away from Greece to the property. And so, she's been living there since she was 13. And she'll be 22 this year. So, almost 9 years. This is the ninth year for up there. The foot's still sore. It is still sore. I figure it's going to take a little bit of time to heal because I've been, continuing to use it for, 5 weeks while it's been hurting. So I don't think it's going to heal overnight, but it just, I've been wearing my sneakers, and Steve's been giving me a hard time about that. He calls me up and he says, he goes, yeah, I was at work and I saw an old lady with the big white sneakers on today, and I thought of you. I'm like, man, screw you, so the boats, he calls them. You get the big boats on. I'm like, yeah, all right. But anyway, going back to Heather, so we're talking, and you know, I said like with what I'm doing here, people don't what they don't get is I'm happy. I'm happy down here. I love it down here. Obviously, I miss my family. I miss the animals. The rest of the animals. But soak your feet in Epsom salt. I'll do that. But so anyway, I was telling her people have this misconception, like when people would say, "Oh, well, you're up hiding in the woods, up in the hills, waiting for the end of the world," and I said they don't get it that it's like I'm living my life, but I enjoy the peace and quiet. I enjoy the serenity of living in nature, and it's just I have to laugh. I just have to laugh at all that. So all right, so we were having that discussion. Okay, so let's get into the topic. Right? Is there going to be a financial collapse, and how soon is it going to happen? Right? The reality is this. What do we have? 274 in the chat. We're at 102 on the thumbs up. So let's do that real quick. I'll ask for that first. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Also, it makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you also to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so I have a couple thoughts. So one of the things I want to talk about first about a financial collapse. Let's say, we're going to do a scenario. What we're going to do first is a scenario. Pure speculation, right? If I was a power of one of the people that were in charge, and I wanted to usher in a digital currency, let's say I wanted to do that, right? So how do we facilitate that? How do we make that happen, right? How do we make that happen? Dark Wings, Ed, did you get chickens yet? No, not yet. We are going to hopefully be working on that. I actually, one of the people that's part of my group actually has 10 chickens for me as soon as we get something built here. So and those hens just started laying. So we will have hopefully chickens down here fairly soon. I can't say exactly when it's going to happen, but we definitely will. Okay. All right. So if I wanted to usher in a digital currency, you have to collapse the current system, right? You have to collapse the current system. So what better way to do that than and I first of all let's look at this realistically. Okay, the fiat dollar, what is it backed by? Nothing, nothing. So if they decide tomorrow, if they decided tomorrow, all that greenbacks that we got out there in circulation are now worth nothing, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Right? They're not worth nothing. We're never paying that debt back. That trillions and trillions of dollars in debt that they say that we're in, right? That trillions of dollars in debt that they say that we're in. And here's the thing. I'm going to jump around a lot, but anyway. So let's go back to what the first point of what I'm saying. So if I want to usher in a digital currency, I have to destroy the current system. That's what's happening right now, and that's strictly my opinion. The current system is under attack, and the way that you facilitate moving into a digital currency is destroying what's happening. So how do you do that? You high inflation, right, which we have right now, huge inflation, huge debt, right? I want you to think about this, okay? If any one of us tomorrow went to the bank, and I said, let's say I went to the bank and I said, I want you to give me $100 million, and they go, okay, well, what's your collateral? What is your collateral to be able to borrow that money? And I'm like, oh no, nothing, nothing, no collateral. Just give me the money. I want the money because I want it. It's not never going to happen. They're never going to do it, right? But somehow, right? Every time that we get to the debt ceiling, right? Every time we get to the debt ceiling, they raise it up a little bit more, make it a little bit higher. Right now, it's what they said, what 25 trillion or whatever the number is now. Okay, so spend on this, spend on that, spend on the other things, and everything is wonderful. The economy's great. Just listen to them; they'll tell you everything's fantastic. You're all super happy. Nobody's stressed out. You're making all kinds of money. Just ask them; they'll tell you how you feel. The problem is this: we are borrowing money we can't pay back. Never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm going to repeat that again so you understand. 32 trillion now. Okay. What did they just raise? Oh, 35. They made it up to 35 trillion, right? Isn't that what they made? They put it up to? I think something to that. I don't even know what number they capped it off at now, but they've raised it up, so we're good until. And I love this, until January of 25, right after the election. Isn't that interesting how they've got that correlated into that, right? So there'll be at that point probably a different president, a different Congress, and a different Senate, depending on how things are done. The amount of interest on this money that is borrowed, who's that? There's no way we're not bringing enough taxes to pay for that interest. So at some point, Southern Prepper One has been making videos of how much the debt has been jumping lately. Yeah, and that's not surprising. I mean, it's like if you watch it, if you pay attention to it, you realize it's at. You look at the interest rates this year, how much they've gone up. So now, if you, Joe Average Citizen, want to go get a car loan, get a mortgage, whatever, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than it would have a year and a half ago. They just kept, and then they're still talking about raising the interest rates. I think what they say, at least two more times this year, right, to help fight inflation. It's going to make all the difference in the world. But what happens when you continue to raise those interest rates? What happens is unemployment ends up going up. I mean, look at the history. I'm not saying anything that you don't know. Uh, it keeps it, the interest with people are not borrowing money, they're not doing things for business, and that is continuing to happen. What is going on right now is not sustainable for the average citizen. Okay, for the average citizen, it's not sustainable. It's just not. There's no way that you're going to be able to continue to do what you're doing. So many people right now are living paycheck to paycheck. The majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck. I think I just read that they said that 60%, and I want you to think about this to kind of really put it into perspective. 60% of people making six figures, that's $100,000 or more a year, are living paycheck to paycheck. They're living paycheck to paycheck. And it's just, you know, the system that we are in, people are, their credit card debt up to the wazoo. Uh, they're in deep, deep trouble, and it's all over the place. You can see it in people's faces when you're out in public. You know the, the frustration, the anger, the stress. You know, when I'm going to tell you what. So I want you to think about this, and I'm going to go back to like the Great Depression to kind of explain this a little bit better. Real men, and notice how I say that. Real men take care of their families. Okay, that's our job. That's what we do. We have, you get married, the American dream, you get married, you have a couple kids, you got the house, you got a couple cars. This is the American dream according to what they're telling you the American dream is. So we feed into that, right? We feed into that. But the system is set up against men. The system is absolutely set up against men. And what do I mean by that? Well, if your wife all of a sudden decides that she's not happy, right, in the situation, she's not happy, she can leave. And a lot of times when she leaves, she takes your children, right? Now, if you haven't got, the money for a lawyer and you end up, you know, having to pay child support or alimony or maintenance as they call it now. It used to be alimony, now it's maintenance. Depending on the length of your marriage. And it can be the other way too, guys. And I'm not saying it's just all on men. So please don't, all you women out there that were the breadwinners and your husband stayed home, it can go that way too. But in reality, for the most part, it's men. Okay. And so these men don't get to see their children, right? They don't get to see their children every other weekend. They're paying out the wazoo. Some other dude is over there banging your old lady, and he's the one basically raising your kids now. She's making bank off of you, and you have to work. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to use somebody, a family member of mine, my cousin Terry. Now, Terry couldn't keep it in his pants to save his life, okay? So a lot of it is his own responsibility, so I'm not making excuses for him. So let me put that out there. That I know of for sure, okay? Notice how I say that. That I know of for sure. He has 6 different children by 4 different women. He had 2 with his ex-wife, and the rest of them were all by different ladies. Okay. He was working a full-time job, and at the end of the week, he would get his paycheck. And you know how much he was bringing home after working a 40-hour week? He was bringing home $12 a week. $12 a week. Because everything else was being garnished for child support. Now, again, I'm not defending what the choices that he made. What I'm saying is, how is a man? Yeah, he wasn't shooting blanks, exactly, Sonia. How is a man supposed to survive, right, and to be able to do anything on $12 a week? Now, he was living with my grandmother, so he was doing that, and he was there, and so he was helping her out and stuff like that. But I mean, he was screwed. And again, if it was his own making, but so many men buy into the system, and yes, this is my job and my responsibility, which it is as a man, is to take care of your family. That's your job, okay? But the system is set up to punish men, right? So if things don't work out, he decides to leave and go on and do her own thing, you're going to continue to pay. And who cares what happens to you? And that's how the system is set up. So what you see is you see so many men, they just jet. They just jet because it's not a doable situation. I don't know what he would have done if it had been for my grandmother. Because he would not have been able to feed himself, put a roof over his head, anything like that. You know what I mean? But oh, Olympia, yes, Scottsville Road, Scottsville Road, and that was actually in Valentine. That's where the go karts was. Olympia. Yep, yep. Good catch there. Yep, Scottsville Road in Valentine. That's exactly where they had that the place with the go karts. So, but anyway, Ed, for my child support, I was paying $310 a month back in the '90s. Wow. Yeah, and like I said, the system is set up to screw you men and villainize men, and when they just disappear, see all these men are all scumbags and lowlifes and stuff like that. Now I'm going to tell you what, I was very fortunate that I had a very lazy ex-wife. I'm not lying when I say that. Um, I had my kids, so I that's all I cared about was my kids. So I wanted to make sure that they were squared away. Again, because that was my responsibility. But you look back, and I'm going to back to my point. Back to my point. So I get off the rails a little bit, not terrible. Back in the Great Depression, when these men, head of households, right, when there was no jobs and there was nothing, a lot of men jetted because it was a lot of shame involved that they were not able to support their families. And to me, I don't know as a father, as a father, I don't know how you can ever walk away from your children. I just don't. But that's just me. And again, I was fortunate to be in a situation where I had a lazy ex that wanted to do her thing. Other things were more important than raising the kids. The kids were the most important thing to me. And I'm not giving me I'm the greatest and poor me, I sacrificed. That was my decision to have those children. I wanted those children. So to me, it was my responsibility. And oh, yeah, I got nothing from her, but I didn't want nothing from her. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that to me, that's my responsibility. I was going to take care of my kids. I didn't need anything from her. So, but again, the system screw men. It has been, always will be. It's never going to change anything. So you wonder why our birth rates are down. And when I love when people say, "Oh well, men today they're so selfish." No, they just have had enough. They're not. They see what happens. They see what happens to their dads and their uncles and the men in their life, and they just go, you know, the rarity. Yesterday was my 45th anniversary. Congratulations, Mountain Man. But that now, unfortunately, is the exception rather than the rule. People don't stay married anymore. They don't. It just doesn't happen. And it's a sad. To me, that's sad because nobody wants to work anything out. It's easy to quit. The system, the system has made it easy to quit. So that's what they do because the system goes, well, hey, ma'am, if you don't want to try to work your marriage out and try to make things, come together, we'll force him to continue to take care of you, right? And you can just sit on your behind. It's a rigged game. It's a rigged game. But anyway, the system that's in place right now, you have a lot of people, again, a lot of men and a lot of women too. So please, ladies out there that are the head of households and supporting your families and taking care of your kids, I'm not trying to slam you guys, okay? So please don't take that okay? Explains why men want to be women these days. Oh my God, JJ, you're too funny. Like I said, it's just it's very difficult, and so there's a lot of people that are completely stressed out because as a man, it's our responsibility to take care of our families. Okay, it's our responsibility, and there's a pride in that for some of us. I know I can't, it's so weird. I can't say, well, all men don't act like that. There's a lot of them out there that could care less. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them that could just care less. But yeah, it's but like my grandparents were married for 46 years. You know, so but anyway, that's like I said, it does. Like I said, that with Mountain Man being married for 45 years, that's the exception nowadays rather than the rule. When I got married the second time, for me, that one was going to be forever. I thought it was, right? I thought it was going to be forever. Turned out not to be that way, unfortunately. But so I just, I don't know. I just, I live my life. I do what I want to do, and I take care of my business. And my kids need me. I'm there for them. Always will be. Always will be. You know. So I plan on being a cat lady. Oh my God, that's awesome. A lot less stress. A lot less stress. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm like, why would I want to have to deal with here's a fact. The longer you're single, the longer that you're alone, the more comfortable you become with it. It's really, really true. I like doing what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't. I just. I don't know. And I'm not saying that couldn't change if the right person came along, but she would have to be somebody amazingly special. She really would be because I just, you know, instead of getting married again, I'm going to find a woman I don't like and give her a house. Yeah, right. Well, as Sam Kinison used to say, I like giving away half my crap, but he didn't use the word crap, every 5.5 years. You know what I mean? So Mary says, I agree at 20 years single. Yeah, I mean, for me now, it's been, December will be 12 years, you know? And I mean, obviously I've dated in that time period, but I just, I don't know. I'm okay with, see, some people can't be alone. Some people cannot be alone. But for me, I'm okay with it. I don't have to. I mean, some people have to be in a relationship, and I don't get it. So I know that, like, I got a buddy of mine, and I think I may have mentioned this before. And he was married. Him and his wife were together for 18 years. And then she died, and she had cancer, and she died. And 2 months later, 2 months, she's in the ground 2 months, and he's out dating again. And I mean, and there was a little bit of judgment. I'm not going to lie, because I know that, like, when my ex and I went our separate ways, and she didn't die, right? Didn't die. I didn't date for 2 years. I didn't date nobody for 2 years. I just wasn't there. I wasn't emotionally ready to do it or anything like that. But he is one of those type of people that can't be alone. He's got to be with somebody. And I'm no thank you. Um, yeah. I just that's but like I said, and I did at the time. I definitely did a little bit of judgment. But anyway, let's get back. Let's get all off of this. And I know I'm like off the rails like I normally go, and I do apologize. What do you have? 421 in the chat. Got 191 thumbs up. So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Also, if it really helps with the algorithms too. So the more interaction, as well, it makes it better for the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's go back to the original topic, right? Financial collapse. The system that we have in place right now is not doable. It is not going to continue to be able to be successful. Inflation has gone too high. The cost of living has gotten too high. People can't do it. All right. So there comes a breaking point. That's the point of a lot of this. There comes a breaking point. We have record foreclosures going on. Record foreclosures. So People, hadn't been able to pay their mortgages, and you're seeing people put out. Where are they going? Where are they going? Okay. You've already seen banks collapsing, right? Because they've overextended themselves. They've invested in things that they shouldn't have invested in. And so there's been that issue. And, you're seeing these things happening. How many people, and I'm going to ask you guys this in the chat. Let me ask you this. Your gas and electric bill, RG&E, NICEG, whatever or company, Duke Energy, PG&E, whatever company that you get your power from. Let me ask this: has your cost of power gone up in the last year? So in the chat, yes or no, is the price of your energy, have they raised what they're charging you for power? So let me ask you that in the chat if you want to put yes or no in the comments. All right. So what I'm seeing, a majority of yeses with a few no's scattered in here. The problem is it goes up every year. That never goes down. I can remember with my power bills. Okay, they would go up. I know that when I lived in Greece, New York, one of the first things that we did is we blew in insulation into the attic. Well, first we had a fireplace in the in the house. Well, if you just burn there, it's 90% of your heat is going up the chimney. So I think the first thing we did is we put the insert in the fireplace, and that made a difference in our bill. The second thing that we did is we blew in insulation into the attic, the blow-in kind. So they basically put, 24 inches of this insulation throughout the whole attic. And I'm going to tell you what a huge difference that made in the summer and in the winter, as far as our bills went. Made a big, big difference. So we were definitely not paying as much, but every year the cost of stuff kept going up and up and up. You look at health insurance. Anybody that's paying for health insurance out of pocket knows what I'm talking about. It goes up every single year. The one thing that doesn't always go up every year or doesn't continue to match inflation is your pay. Your pay doesn't go up enough to be able to cover what you got to do. So a lot of people, unfortunately, are working a tremendous amount of hours to try to make up for that. I've talked about for 10 years. For 10 years, I worked 66 hours a week. I did it for 10 years, okay? 6 days a week. And I did it because I was sacrificing for my family, okay? Because I felt that was important. It was my responsibility to take care of my family. And what I did not realize at that time, the one thing, my friends, the one thing, and so Spotted T says I work 72 hours a week, okay? And I talked to a neighbor out here about this. Younger guy, he's in his early 40s. He's got 3 kids, he's got his wife. And I tried to explain, and as you get older, a lot of times people don't always listen to you. The one thing that I can tell you right now that you're never going to get back, that you're never, ever, ever going to get back, no matter how many hours that you work, is time. It's gone. Tomorrow is gone. Yesterday is gone. The only thing that we have complete and total control over is right now and what happens moving forward. And when my ex left, I did a whole lot of reevaluating. And my priority, obviously, was my kids. It always has been my kids, no matter what. But I needed to make some adjustments of what I was working because I wanted to have more time to spend with them, to do things with them. And that's why I worked so many nights. I worked night shift for so many years because when I was working, the kids were sleeping, and then they could get up in the morning and get on, get to school, and then I could sleep in the morning, and then by the time they got home from school, I was able to be there in doing different things and stuff like that. I missed so many things when they were really young because I was making those sacrifices, and you know, what gives with all the troll accounts? Oh, they're dedicated. Jeff Ellis, my last bill was 282.76. Wow, yeah, that's no fun. Again, even if you work a lot, hey Hunter guy, refinance refinance my house at 2.89. Best decision of my life. I would be underwater without it. Energy prices have gone too high. I totally understand that, man. Thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the donation as well. I really appreciate that. You know, yeah, and I want to encourage all of you, especially anybody that has children. I don't care if they're teenagers or the young. Make memories. Do things with them. So what I used to do when I worked at 6 days a week, and Sunday would come, and I'll tell you exactly how it went down almost every single time. I would say, okay, Sunday is family day. We're gonna do something as a family, right? We're gonna go do something because I've worked all week, and now I want to spend time. I want to go out and do something, with the kids and mom and all of us. And inevitably, what would happen? What would happen? And I kid you not, folks. My ex would say, "Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to go anywhere." And then as soon as she said that, Eddie would say, "I want to stay home with mom." Well, to me, I was not going to deprive Josh and Heather from going and doing something. So every time it would be me, Josh, and Heather going out, doing whatever we were going to do. And I would always say, "Isn't this great, this family time?" Because it would just be the three of us. And it was okay. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed that time, but I wanted all of us to do it together. You have to make that time to spend with your family, to do things, make those memories. Those things will stand out for those kids, and you'll always have that where you went. And the thing is, you don't have to go on some elaborate trip. I mean, I never took my kids to Disneyland, and I'll tell you why I never took my kids to Disneyland. It's a scam. It's overpriced. It is ridiculous, and you have people that go and do that every year. They go to Disneyland, right? I would rather take a weekend and go on a weekend trip and go and go either camping or to a lake or whatever the case, whatever it is. Go do something with them. Even if you take them to an amusement park, you can go to an amusement park for the day and not spend the kind of money you would spend at Disneyland. Okay, I never had. I went last time I was at Disneyland. I think I was 14. My mom took my sister and I down. We went down to Florida. We went to Disney. And I remember it, you know what I mean? But it's just I would rather do something that we can do together, that we can enjoy each other's time. $100 for burger, fries, and a soda at Disney World. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But like I said, it's like you don't have to do something expensive. Take the kids to the lake, right? What does that cost you? The gas, right? The gas to go to the lake. Go to the lake, have them go swimming, have a little picnic. Very cheap. It's not like you got to spend a lot of money. And the kids will, especially when they're little, have them have like a floaty or a toy, and they can go swimming and do that. They love that. That's um, so there's things that can be done where you can do things that you don't have to spend a lot of money. But I'm going to encourage anybody on here that's watching and has children, make sure you're taking that time to spend with your children, because what will happen is when you start slowing down, right? Now you're slowing down. You've worked, 16, 17 years. Now your kids are 15, 16, 17. They don't want to spend time with you. They don't want to be with you. They want to go hang out with their friends. They want to go do other stuff. You know why? It's not because they don't like you, because you're mom and dad. It's because you were never there before. So they don't care. They're off doing their own thing. It's so important to make those memories and do those type of things. So that's just me. That's just that's my take on it. You know, but anyway, life is so short and it blinks, it's gone in a blink of an eye. And again, the one thing you're never going to get back, chasing that brass ring, chasing that thing that they tell you that you got to chase. Yeah, go fishing. That doesn't cost very much. You get a fishing license, for the season, and you can go as much as you want. Chasing that brass ring is not the end all be all. It is not. You don't have to have that great big house, and you don't have to have all the toys and the cars and everything else. You don't have to have those things, And yeah, go to the range. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do that you make those bonds and you make those memories. So, but you know, like I said again, the system that we're in right now is absolutely in a downward spiral. We go higher and higher in debt as each day goes by. As somebody was saying that Southern Prepper One has been doing a lot of videos talking about how much more debt. Where's all that money being spent? I mean, I know we continue to send billions. It seems like almost every other day we're sending billions over to Ukraine, right? We keep doing that, but we're not taking care of our own stuff here. We need to take care of our own stuff before we start worrying about everybody else around the world. You know, I want you to think about this. And I know that if we abandon a lot of these bases, it makes, other countries weaker and stuff like that. But when did it become our responsibility, realistically? When did it become our responsibility to be the muscle for all these other countries? When did that become our responsibility? You know what I mean? We need to take care of stuff at home. We have a tremendous amount of issues here that need to be dealt with. And when something happens here, you know, and somebody just said nobody comes to help us, but I actually have seen different countries have come to help under certain disasters. I remember when we had even like you look at 9/11. Other countries came in with their rescue stuff and tried to help find people. Excuse me. So they have helped that way, but we always help everybody else. 90% of the time, we take care of our own business realistically here in the States when something happens. So, that's just the way it's always been because we're ones, you know what I mean? But yeah, we have poverty and homeless vets. We have people going to bed, children going to bed hungry every night in the United States of America. And that should never happen. That should never happen. The whole system is a mess. To be honest with you, the whole system is a mess. There's so much corruption in those. I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about California, and people were like, "Well, they need to put more money into homelessness and stuff like that into California." Because a lot of the homeless in the country are out on the West Coast because the temperature is more moderate and temperate, and they're able to live outside and do all that whole thing. And somebody said you wouldn't believe the money that is spent on that, but there's so many jobs associated with that these people are making huge salaries by being the ones in charge of that, and it's turned in it's a business for them, and not enough is ever going to be you know it's never going to be enough, unfortunately. So there's a lot of trolls tonight, JJ, in the chat, but four already. Okay, wow. Yeah, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. I just don't. I'm going to give you an example of something, okay? And this is, and again, I'm going to use this as just so my favorite troll has been sending me emails, right, telling me what a piece of garbage I am and how awful I am and how I'm insufferable and everything else. And I laugh and I go, okay, if I am so insufferable, why are you watching? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, you got to be a moron if you're a troll. If you hate me, right? You got to be some kind of a moron to continue to watch someone that you hate. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's okay. It takes their time focusing on me to leaving somebody else alone. So there you go. But anyway, so what do we got? We got 423 in the chat. We're 247 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time for that. Also, it makes a really big difference again with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure that they're just mad that you're awesome and they're not. Well, thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. And I think a lot of it is jealousy too, Okie Forge. I hear you. No, I do. Um, so again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. All right, so it is egg count time. So how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So I'll let you guys get your answers up there now. All right. Give you guys a moment. I don't see Dave in the chat tonight. Or he's under Mac on here. All right, so if you had the same exact guess as DJ, all right, and here's the funny thing with Dave. Yeah, Dave's not here. Come on, man, open the door. It's Dave. Um, and it's funny because if Dave had been here, Dave's generally like the first one, and he guesses the same guess every single time. And had he been here tonight, he would have been 100% correct because he did not come in and put his guess in. DJ was the first one with the correct guess with 7 eggs, and yes for Miss Thickneck. So congratulations to DJ. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing. So except for bragging rights until the next live stream. How's the waterfall edge still running strong? Haven't seen it in a while. I actually have not been down there very much. It is such a steep incline to go down there. You really want to go down very infrequently. And I generally, if I'm going to go down there, I'll go after we've had like a lot of rain, a lot of storms, because then it'll be raging. It will be raging, and then it's really beautiful. When we don't have a whole lot of rain, it's really not going that strong at all. And again, it's time of year. You know what I mean? It's time of year. So, but thickneck. I did do that video talking about thickneck not laying, and I did another video the other day talking about what had happened was Becky had run out of mealworms, and so she had been given the birds mealworms, and so they weren't laying. So thickneck was on strike until she got more mealworms, and once she got the mealworms, she's been laying again. Actually, I think she's laid 3 days in a row now. So, but anyway, so that is it. So let's continue on with the financial collapse talk. Will there be a financial collapse? I do absolutely believe that it is coming. When will it be, right? I put that, when will it happen, right? The mass shooter in Baltimore was described as a bald white man with a white beard and a supremacist. Aren't they all supremacists? Aren't all old, bald white men supremacists? Oh, wait a minute. That describes me. Oh, people are so stupid. But anyway, I will never say, this is the date the collapse is happening. I don't do that. I just don't. I can't say when it's going to happen, folks. But if something else doesn't happen first, it is strictly a matter of time. Because again, what we are doing right now is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. We can't keep doing the status quo and just raising it up and raising it up and keep printing more money. It doesn't work. And like I said again, could this be being done on purpose for a reason to have a collapse so they can come back in and say, well, okay, well that didn't work, so we're not doing that anymore. And here's the thing with that, I want you to understand, okay, all the supposed debt that we're in, right? All the supposed debt, it's all made up. It's all made up, guys. They just keep printing more money. That's all they're doing. They're printing and printing and printing. But that money's not backed by anything. It's not backed by anything. And that's the problem. That's the problem. What's it backed by? I mean, up until the 1970s, it was backed by gold. And then they took us off the gold standard, under Nixon. I think it was under Nixon that they took us off the gold standard. So at that point, the dollar was backed by nothing after that. Nothing. So you just printing, keep printing, and you can make up all these numbers all you want. It don't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. Because I think they said per person right now that per person's responsibility for the debt is $250,000. That's per person. So that's not doable. It's never going to be doable. So again, this is a game. We're on this big old hamster wheel, and we bought into this game, right? We bought into this game, and we see these numbers, and we're like, oh my God, what are they going to do? They don't care. If the banks have an issue, they make something else up. Look what they did in 2008 with the banking crisis, right? Look what they just did. You had all these other banks went in and were like, oh yeah, we're going to back them, and again, more government loans or whatever they're doing. Like I said again, the whole system is set up, and we've all bought into it. We've all bought into it. So when we all get to a point, and again, so will that happen? I have a real hard time seeing it happening, because I'll tell you why. Let's say I tomorrow decide I'm never paying any more taxes. Not paying any more taxes. Not paying my land. Eventually, they'll come in here and try to take my property. And if I fight back, then I'm the bad guy, right? Because I didn't pay my taxes, and they have the right to come in and take what's yours because you didn't pay your taxes. And so the whole system is rigged against you, me, everybody else. It's rigged. So no paper money has 2018, 19, 20, or 21, or 22. Everybody look at your money. I will have to look at that now and see if I can see what the bills are saying. But anyway, like I said, the system is, and I want you to think about this too. And this is something that I want you to think about. 85,000 new IRS agents were hired with the stimulus bill that they put through. But they're going after just rich people, right? Remember that? Oh, they're just going after rich people. Do you believe it? Do you think they're just going to go after rich people? Or maybe they're going to be going after Joe Average Citizen and trying to, bully and intimidate and all those type of things. So, I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, income tax is unconstitutional. A lot of these taxes that we are paying, and they have every reason why. Oh, we got to raise this because we got to raise money for that. We got to raise this, and then they're always in a deficit all the time. So they want to raise taxes again. When the assessment, they come out and they want to, jump your property tax. They say, oh, well, now your property's worth XYZ, so now we're going to charge you more for something that you own or that you're paying to own. You know, um, I'm going to give you an example. When I had my house in Greece, New York, and this is now going back more than 10 years ago, because we were been out of there. I've been living off grid for more than 9 years now. But when we were living in Greece, New York, my mortgage payment per month on an okay, so I'm going to give you the 1912 square foot house, right? And this is going back 10 years ago, guys. This is 10 years ago. 1912 square foot house on a quarter acre lot in the town of Greece, New York, right? In Monroe County. Now, Monroe County in New York is one of, if you look it up, you will see that I'm not telling you anything that's not true. It's one of the highest taxed counties in the country. Monroe County in New York State, outside of Rochester, um, one of the highest tax counties in the country. My taxes on my property there 10 years ago was 5 grand a year. All right. My mortgage payment was 12.25 a month. 12.25 a month was my mortgage payment. It was a 30-year mortgage. Every month of that 12.25, $118 was going against principal. I want you to think about that. 1/10 of what I was paying was going towards principal. The other 90% was taxes and interest, all going towards the bank. And I've talked about this before too. Now, if you have not put 20% down on your property when you go to buy your property, and who has the money to put 20% down, right? If you don't pay 20% down on your property, you pay this little thing called PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, right? My property tax was 13.5 in California. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, I know California's bad. California is bad. So you pay this thing called PMI, private mortgage insurance. Who does that protect? Does it protect you? No, it protects the bank. But you're paying it every month is part of your mortgage payment. Once you have achieved and got to a point where you have 20% equity in your home, then you can get rid of PMI. You have to go to the bank because if you don't tell them, they'll just keep charging you it anyway. But then you can go to the bank and say, hey, I have 20% equity in my home now. I want this PMI off here because they figure you're not going to walk away from it then because you have, equity in the home. You'll probably sell it and then, and then they can make more money on the closing cost and all that other stuff as well. The system is so rigged. It's so rigged. So it's insanity. And I looked at my situation back then and I go, this is insane. This is insane. And so, I made a change. And when I made that change and we moved off grid and, having my own solar system and, having my own well and, in doing that, uh, things were a lot more doable and a lot more money was going into my pocket instead of somebody else's pocket. And so, it's, like I said, the system it is so jaded against you um, to not be able to get ahead. And we were in Greece for 8 years, and every year things got tougher and tougher. The health insurance went up, the gas and electric bill went up, all of that, everything. The water bill that you would get every 3 months. And, it was just, and it was one thing after another, and they never went down. They always went up. So you end up working more and more and more trying to stay ahead. And I burnt out. I will be honest with you. I completely burnt out, and I just had enough. I didn't want to do it anymore. And when you get to that point, I'll be honest with you guys. When you get to that point, it's very freeing. It's very freeing because when you get to a point where you say, screw it, not doing it no more, right? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? So, you do what you got to do and you go on with your life. And I'll tell you, the time that I had from the time when the kids were 10 till Heather went off to college and then Eddie went off to go live with mom, those are probably some of my best years, in my opinion, because I got to spend a lot of time with my kids. I got to spend every weekend with my kids, and we went and did a lot of different things, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Again, folks, and I'll reiterate this: the one thing you're never going to get back, the one thing you're never going to get back is time. And the other thing is that I want you to remember, you're going to blink your eyes. Whenever I see anybody out and I see these frustrated moms and they got like 2, 3 kids and the kids are like, little lunatics and are crying and want mom's attention. And, you can see mom is stressed. I always say the same thing. I do. I do this all the time. I said, I want to tell you something. And they look at me and they go, yeah. I said, one day you're going to miss this. And they're like, oh, no, but you will. And it's, I will never forget the very first day. Eddie had gone off to live with mom. Heather had gone off to go to college. And I'm in my house for the first time in, almost 20 years. And I was alone. And it was just me and the animals. And it was so quiet. And I remember standing there going, this is so weird. This is so weird. But I will tell you this too. You do get used to it. It gets better. But, it is an amazing thing how you end up missing that chaos and the craziness and, the crying and the attention and everything else. It's amazing. I'm going to tell you what, I can honestly say, for me personally, my greatest achievement to me, my greatest achievement is my children. Never regretted having them. Love them to death. They are still my whole world. They'll always be my whole world. I had said to Heather, I said, down the road here, I said, let's say I'm 86. I go, you're going to be 50. And you're going to get on the phone. You're going to be like, Dad, you need to do this. Because Heather is me in a female form. Okay? Heather is me in a female form. And I'm going to tell her, go screw yourself. I said, because no matter how old I get or how old you get, you will always be my child. So, and I know she'll do it out of concern. Dad, you need to slow down. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Never going to happen. I'm going to go until I can't go no more. All right. Let me get a drink. So what do we have? 338 in the chat. We're at 275 on a thumbs up. Let's for fun, let's make it a higher number. Let's go with 350, which is 75 more thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 350 for thumbs up before we jump off here. So again, if you have not done so yet, please throw a thumbs up to give the support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference, again, with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So 350 is our goal. Let's see if we can hit 350 before we jump off. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you very much ahead of time. So 350 is a goal. So we're, 60 away right now. So let's see if we can get that number, guys. All right, shout out time. I'm going to start out with Icky Can up in Canada. Real good guy, very down to earth. I ask you to please go and support his channel. You have Angry Prepper, that is Jason down in New York City. Definitely check him out, support him as well. Jason's awesome. You have Alaska Prepper, and that's Rudy up in Alaska. You have Alaska Granny as well. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and myself, Reliance, 2 different channels. Same guy. Definitely check him out. Master Builder. Very fun to watch him build and do his thing. So definitely check him out as well. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Another good channel as well. Really interesting stories. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Real good channel out there. A lot of good information with their channel. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That is Cody. Good channel as well. A lot of good information on his channel. Red Poppy Ranch. Coming out of Europe, you have Survival Lily. There is Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up there. Definitely check them out as well. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband-wife team, two different channels. Definitely check them out. Really good couple. They're up split the time between Michigan and Alaska, so definitely check them out as well. You have Green Greg's, real good channel as well with him. There is Southern Prepper 1 with the Boots on the Ground series. A lot of good information with his channel, and definitely check him out as well. They have Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. They've been around for a long time. A lot of good information on their channel as well. Do you still keep in touch with Honey Badger? No, I haven't talked to her in quite a while. Nope, I haven't talked to her in quite a while. She cut things off. She was interested, and I was interested. I'll be honest with you, because she was super religious, and I am not. And it was her decision. She said we were not evenly yoked, is the way that she put it. And I'm like, hey, that's perfectly fine. That's her choice. So, but no, she's a cool chick. I still have nothing against her. But because we were not religiously compatible, she decided to move on down the road. So, all right, let me see, where were we here? All right, the nomadic movement down in Panama. Very, very cool couple down there, and doing their thing down there. Really like them as well. The Green Dream Project. They are in the Arizona desert doing their thing out there, showing you how to live in the desert. Really, really cool. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, with Stealth Camping. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader. Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time too. Another really good channel. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a great guy. Very, very smart. Definitely check him out. Really good information on his channel. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Again, somebody who says it like it is. I like that. I respect that. You have City Prepper. There is Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates with the earthquakes in Yellowstone and everything that's going on there. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy. Really good channel. Gives back to the community big time, so definitely give him some love. You have Russell Brand. Like Russell Brand, good channel. Deep South Homestead, another really good family-oriented channel. You have The Outsider. There's The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's. Real good information on that channel as well. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. East Tennessee Preparedness. The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. You guys are putting other channels that you like in the chat as well, which is fine. We definitely should be supporting each other. So we're at 305 now. We need 45 more thumbs up, guys, to see if we can hit that 350 mark on thumbs up. I did it a little bit higher to see if, to push us a little bit to see if we can get that, make that happen. So let's see if we can get to that 350 number before we jump off. So right now we're 45 thumbs up away. So we can do it. I think we can do it. So, but again, the prepping community is a small community. I do believe we should be supporting each other. I think that that's important, and that's why I like to do the shout outs. Again, a lot of the channels that I do shout outs for, guys, have no idea who I am. You know what I mean? Ed, did you plant the seeds I sent for the bees? No, not this year, Prep Rebel. I'll get them in the spring. I'll get them in the spring. There's right now they're good to go with everything that we got out there growing, so they're doing okay. So what do we at 310? 40 more thumbs up, guys. Can we do it? I don't know tonight. We'll see what happens here. Need 40 more thumbs up to hit our goal. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to always continue to encourage you to prep, continue to get ready. I don't want you guys to be victims. The best way not to be a victim is to be as prepared as you possibly can be. It doesn't take a lot of money each week to put yourself in a better situation. I did the series prepping on $10 budget a week. I did it for 3 months, right? I think I did 3 months, once a week. So I did like 12 episodes of that. And in 3 month period of time, I put together quite a substantial amount of food. And I was just doing food and just doing $10, okay? The B videos are great. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I just, I'm trying to do the best I can with that and showing people how that can be done and all those type of things. And so that's kind of, why I'm doing what I'm doing with the bees. Bees are fun. I enjoy the bees. They're a lot of fun. And so we'll see what happens. I'll do another video with the bees probably in a few days, giving you an update of what I did because I set the other box up as well. So I will show you all that, and we'll do another video of that. So but anyway, what do we have? 314. So we need 36 more. Slow going here tonight. 36 more thumbs. Can we do it? Wendy Marie K, 54-year-old, beautiful Harley owner, not so judgmental on religion. Wendy Marie K channel. Okay, so that's her channel. Thank you. So now we're at 316, so 317, so 33 more. 33 more thumbs up. I don't know if we're going to make it. We'll see. I think you guys can do it, though. All right, so let's go ahead and do this right now. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. We are a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? And we got Philip in Melbourne, Australia to start us off, still using a wife's account. Franklin County, Ohio. Waterloo, New York. Edgewater, Florida with Judy. Awesome Sauce in Connecticut. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. BC, Canada with Janet. Hakeem in the Georgia Mountains. Missouri Ozarks with Delbert. Emil in BC, Canada. Central Iowa, Nebraska. Churchville, New York with Kathy. We have Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Las Vegas is in the house. Fort Worth, Texas. Wyoming. Dayton, Ohio. Tucson, Arizona with Angela. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. South of Pittsburgh with Robert. Mitten. Akron, Ohio. Vancouver Island, Canada with Prep Rebel. We got Virginia in the house. Dallas, Texas. Weedsport, New York. Dust Devil from Texas. Campbell, Missouri with Antonio. Harticolo, Idaho, and I probably sent that wrong with Janita. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Central New York with Village Homestead. West Central Ohio with Dale. So what do we have? Up to 321. So we need 29 more thumbs up, guys, to hit 350. 29 more thumbs up. Can we do it? We got Batavia, New York. Belmont, Texas. We got West Virginia in the house with T3. Fort Worth, Texas. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Carmel, New York with James. So what do we got? 27 to go, guys. 27 more thumbs up. Come on, I know you guys can do it. 27 more puts us at 350. But anyway, like I said, we're a big network of people. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We got the UP of Michigan with Dina. Inverness, Florida. There's Clyde. Clyde, say hello to your lovely wife for me, please. I hope you guys are doing well. We got Oklahoma in the house with Chicken Mama. Oklahoma with the other again, same Chicken Mama. Oh, again. So if you're on a cell phone, hop out of the chat, hit the thumbs up, and then hop back in. Ah, there you go. So anyway, guys. So like I said, we're all over the place. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference. I think we should try to do so. Try to help people if we can. It's really important, especially after an event. We're going to be the ones that have the knowledge because they're not. They don't know. So, what are we at? 327. So we need 23 more thumbs up, guys. Can we do it? So anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I do appreciate ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. It means a lot to me. I like being able to just take care of what I got to take care of here and not worry about that part of it. So having you guys take care of that means a lot. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, being part of the chat. A lot of fun. It's a really good time, and I enjoy these chats. So I appreciate your support in that as well. We're at 329. We need 21 more. 6 trolls tonight. Wow. Yeah, I don't get it. I really, truly don't get it. But you guys take care of them, which is important, and I do appreciate that. Yeah, we'll have a stream where we'll have none come in, and then tonight, like JJ said, 6 of them. So we're at 330. We need 20 more thumbs up. I don't know if we're going to get there. Prep Rebel said I counted 8. But how hard is it just to be decent? That's what I don't get. I really, truly don't get that. So we're 333. So now we're 17 away. Come on, guys. 17 more thumbs up. If you're coming in late, make sure you throw that thumbs up in there. Let's keep that going up and see if we can't extra trolls for the holiday. Yeah, right. They're able to be home. Mom let them out of the basement. Again, what we got to remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race, and as soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation. These are all tools used to keep us fighting amongst each other and not focus on the real problem, which is big business and the government, which is trying to control every aspect of your life, right? I mean, let's be realistic. That's their goal. I shouldn't say that because I don't want to be accused of spreading false information, but it would seem like, how's that? It would seem like they want to control every aspect of our lives. I'll put it like that. I guess that's a more politically correct way to say that. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from achieving your goal is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? Treat each other with respect and dignity. It goes a lot further. 12 short. We're 12 short. I hope everybody has a great 4th of July. Let me just say that ahead of time as well. Please be safe. Try to go out of the 4th of July with all 10 of your fingers, because there are people out there right now that will go out of the 4th of July with less fingers than they went into the 4th of July with. So just be safe. Good time, which is great. I want you guys to have fun. but just be careful. So we're at 340. We're going to come up 10 short. Look at that, 10 short. But anyway, guys, um, again, continue to prep, take care of your business, and that's all we can do. Control what you can control. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1. Oh, 341. So we're going to be 9 short. Nope, now we're 8 short. Should I stay on here for a minute? I hope so. Is Dave bringing back fireworks? I hope he is. Maybe he's on the road tonight. Maybe he's on the road. I should stay on. All right, we're 7 away. Let's see. We got to hit 350, guys. We're 7 away. We'll stay 6 away now. 6 away. Let's see if we'll hit 350, and then I'll jump off. So, but so I think I told you guys. I may have, I may not have. Heather's coming down to visit next month, and I can't wait to see her. She's been here, obviously. She hasn't been here in quite a while. The last time she was here was when we had closed on the property. So she's probably seen it on video what we have done, but she has not been back down here since then. So she's going to be, coming down to visit then. So that'll be really, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're at 347, 349. We need one more. 349, guys. We're one more to go. And I don't know why you guys say 350. On mine it says 349. What's the size of my camper? It's a 27-foot camper. I'm on a 27-foot camper. So I'm still looking at 349 here, guys. So I need one more. I know you guys, for whatever reason, you guys are seeing 350. Yeah, I don't know why that does it, but on mine, it's saying 349. So I got to wait. I got to see one more. One more. Let's get that. Yeah, and you guys are saying 350, but mine, there it is. Now mine says 350. All right. Be safe, everyone. Have a great night. Have a safe 4th of July. I'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.